Hello everybody, my name is Adam. I am the newest instructional designer here at ESU, and we are going to do a quick tutorial about the settings and features in Zoom. So we will just jump right in. First thing let's talk about is the microphone options. If you click this little arrow in the mic icon there, you have access to all of these different options. Basically you can select the microphone input that you want to use, select the speakers that you're going to use. It's basically all of the audio settings for the meeting. You can go into the more advanced audio settings here. That will open up your Zoom application settings, and you can set those. It is a pretty similar group of settings for the video. You can select which camera you want to use, set up a virtual background, video filters, and again go into the video settings. Next we will talk about this security icon. What you can do in this one is you can lock the meeting if all of your participants are in and you don't want anyone else to be able to join. You can do that. You can set up your waiting room and select all of the other security settings for the meeting will be in here. For the participants tab, it's going to pop up the first time you click it. It may pop up in front of your face. It just depends on whether you're using full screen, things like that. In this tab, it's going to populate a full list of the people you have in there. There are some options here. If you click the more arrow, it'll have a longer list since it's just me in here right now. But you'll have options of giving them ability to share their screen, ability to record video, things like that. There are also these communication options down here. For example, yes and no. If you were to ask a question, they can non-verbally either answer yes or answer no. There are also options here. They can do like or dislike. They can clap. They can notify you that maybe they're stepping away for a few minutes to use the restroom or get a coffee or what have you. The participants will also have another option that is to the left of this yes button, which is a raise hand. So they can kind of get your attention if they have a question or anything like that. So those are some helpful things that will be there. You can also, as the host, you can clear them. So that's just another kind of interesting feature there. Another similar window is the chat window. Again, it pops up right over my face if I'm in full screen mode. And this is where any messages will appear that people have typed in. You can also send private messages to one another if you want to do that. That's what that is. Next we will talk about this polls window. This is a poll that I created just for this sample video, this sample tutorial. Again, is just kind of some goofy questions, but you can go into the poll settings on the ESU Zoom Portal, which the link will be in the description of this tutorial for that, and you can set up various polls that you're going to use, that you may use in a meeting. You get to write your own questions. Obviously, there are a limit of number of answers. You only can choose 4 answers for each question, and then there's 2 different types of questions you can utilize. One is multiple choice, or like a check all that apply type of thing. The other is a single choice, which is like this first question. For the screen sharing, if you click the green arrow, you can select the different options there. If you click the share screen, it's going to bring up all of your different options for what you can share. You can share your screen. If you have multiple monitors, it'll show up there. There's a whiteboard. If you have an iPhone or an iPad connected, you can share that. Or any other applications you might have open, it will give you the option to share those. Usually you will want to optimize for screen sharing, and depending on what you're going to be sharing, you may want to share the computer sound so that, for example, if you were watching a YouTube video, it would put the sound through the Zoom meeting and all the other users would be able to hear that. Next we'll talk about the recording. This is pretty self-explanatory. Record on this computer will save a local copy of the recording to your machine. It does take a little bit of time after the meeting is over to process that recording. If you click record to the cloud, it will save it on the internet, on the ESU Zoom Portal, and you'll be able to download it after the fact. Recording to the cloud also does create an automatic caption file, which again, it does take some time to process, but that is another huge benefit of recording to the cloud, because if you were to share it later, you'll have that closed captioning that is beneficial for people who have that need. For this closed caption option, there are a few different options here. You could assign someone to type them yourselves, or if you had access to a third-party CC service, you could use that. For breakout rooms, this is where you can set up the different breakout rooms. You can choose the number of rooms you want to use. You can automatically assign manually. This can be very time consuming, especially if you have a large participant group, or you can let the participants choose the room that they use. One thing to note is that if you'd like to use the letting participants choose their room, you need to make sure you have the most up-to-date version of your Zoom application, because this is not available in some of the older versions. One last thing we'll talk about is this reactions. There are a few here. So these are kind of nonverbal communication things that your participants can use. When they select one, it will pop up into the corner, and it stays for about 5 seconds, and then it will disappear automatically. So those are all the options that we will have to go through today, so thank you for watching.